Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Weather Forecasting Center. My name is John, and going to give you a rundown of what's going on in the United States this afternoon. Uh, and then we're going to touch on a few other topics that have my attention. Um, we're going to go over the severe weather aspect of today, tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday. And the rain still continued to pummel South Florida as they're in risk of more flooding today. And the desert Southwest has been in a heat wave. Temperatures in the 100 teens, which is very hot for this time of year. Plus, there's moisture in the air, so the real field temperatures are warmer, well, relatively speaking, warmer than normal. So we will touch a little bit about the heat wave, and that is going to migrate to the Midwest and the Northeast for next week. Also, we will talk about Invest 90L, which you can see on your screen is moving up the eastern seaboard out to sea. And there are signals of a possible tropical system in the Gulf coming soon. Current hazards for today. We still have flood warnings down in flood watches for South Florida for all the tropical rains that have been inundating that area all week. Looks like the heat has came back a little bit in the valleys of California. There's still excessive heat warnings there. There's also excessive heat warnings in Nevada, southern Utah, and Arizona. Heat advisories are now posted for southern New Mexico into West Texas. There is a severe thunderstorm watch here in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. I will touch base with that. There is a winter storm watch. Yes, a winter storm watch in June. Really? For western Montana, pretty much in the up the higher mountains. They will get snow with this next system that's coming in from the Pacific Northwest. Also have some heat advisories here in northeast Oklahoma. SBC boys have outlined a slight risk of severe thunderstorms from southwestern Ohio, northern West Virginia, much of Pennsylvania, much of New Jersey, New York, cities included Hartford, Boston, and Portland are all included with that, and a marginal risk surrounding that. There's also a slight risk here in eastern Colorado, southwestern Nebraska, and northwestern Texas, and a marginal risk extending from North Dakota down to New Mexico surrounding the slight risk. Tornado probabilities. Just 2% risk here in northeastern Colorado, southwestern Nebraska, and northwestern Kansas. 15% chance of hail exceeding 1 inch in diameter here in the northeast, and also here in Colorado and southwestern Nebraska. Wind is going to be the main hazards today out in the plains and the intermountain west, where there's a 10% hatched area of winds exceeding 75 miles an hour or greater. In the northeast, just slight risk of winds exceeding 55 to 60 miles an hour. Tomorrow, there's a slight risk of severe thunderstorms in eastern Montana and northwest half of North Dakota, and also a slight risk here in western Iowa, eastern Nebraska, and far northern Kansas. Tornado probabilities. There is a 5% chance of tornadoes tomorrow in far eastern Nebraska and far western Iowa, with a 2% risk surrounding that and 2% risk in North Dakota. Hail. 15% chance of hail exceeding 1 inch in diameter here in the slight risk area of western Iowa, eastern Nebraska, and far northern Kansas, with a 5% risk surrounding that, and also a slight risk of hail exceeding 1 inch in diameter. There is also a 10% hatch risk here for hailstones to be larger than 2 inches in diameter. Wind, 15% chance of wind exceeding 55-60 miles an hour from western Iowa to southeastern Nebraska and far northern Kansas. Also a 15% chance of winds exceeding that criteria in eastern Montana and northwestern half of North Dakota, with a 10% hatch area for wind, with winds possibly exceeding 75 miles an hour. Sunday, there are two marginal risks. One here in North Dakota, basically the western half, and here in western Iowa, southwestern Minnesota, southeastern South Dakota, eastern Nebraska, and far northeast Kansas. Right now, there's only a 5% chance of significant severe weather in those two regions. There's a day 4 slight risk for southeastern North Dakota, northeastern South Dakota, and much of central Minnesota. Excessive rainfall outlook. Still got that slight risk down here in South Florida, where they've been inundated with rain all week. Flood warnings and everything else. 5% farther north, 5% New Mexico, Texas Panhandle, one county in the Oklahoma Panhandle, eastern Colorado, northern northwest third of Kansas and much of Nebraska, and here in northeast. Tomorrow, 15% chance of flash flooding in Minneapolis, near Des Moines, and into northern Wisconsin. Florida may get to dry out a little bit on Saturday, since they have now dropped to just a marginal risk of flash flooding. Day 3, there's a couple of slight risk of flash flooding here in southeastern South Dakota, northeastern Nebraska, northwestern Iowa, and southwestern Minnesota. And there's also, which is new, a slight risk down here in New Orleans, with a 5% surrounding it. Here we go with the model run. I'm using the run previously, which is starting from 2 o'clock this afternoon. Still got showers and thunderstorms trailing right through southern Florida again, with Invest 90L continuing to move to the northeast. Showers and thunderstorms starting to break out here in Ohio Valley in the northeast. And here is our next system coming in. And we got, scattered showers and thunderstorms in the Intermountain West. As we move forward, they kind of blow up a little bit later this afternoon here in Colorado, northwestern Nebraska and Kansas, and also here in the northeast. Florida starts to dry out as we keep it going. Here's Sunday's risk of severe weather here in Wisconsin, and a little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity here in the southern plains, and some shower and thunderstorm activity here in North Dakota as we continue on. Here's a big moisture plume coming up from the Gulf of Mexico, which is going to lead to showers and thunderstorms scattered about from the Gulf Coast all the way up into Illinois. Low ejecting out of the Rockies is going to interact with that and cause showers and thunderstorms along a warm front. Continue forward. That extends into Minnesota and South Dakota as more concentrated heavy rains are coming in from the Gulf of Mexico into Louisiana. Keep it on going. That plume continues while we have showers, thunderstorms in the northern plains and snow in the higher elevations of the Rockies, in the northern Rockies. We keep on going. Right now, at this point, basically, there's going to be a heat wave in the northeast. Here's a low with a front coming down with showers and thunderstorms along it. And this may be our tropical system to look out for. That goes into Mexico with tropical moisture going into southeast Texas. Showers and thunderstorms look be new, look be in a line from Wisconsin down to New Mexico. Keep it going. All all the tropical moisture gets basically goes right around the high. So hey, showers, thunderstorms from Texas into Midwest into Canada, and then here's the ceilings of another low pressure system ejecting out from the southwest. That will spark showers and thunderstorms with it. Continue showers, thunderstorms here in the central plains. As we keep on going, if this storm down here does not develop, this one will and would take the name Alberto. Down here with tropical moisture all in Florida. We have showers and thunderstorms scattered about from Colorado through Michigan to the northeast. Keep it going. This is developing a tropical storm at worst, a hurricane here in the Gulf of Mexico coming next Saturday. It's 8 days out. Things could change as usual. Scattered showers, thunderstorms from central plains into the interior northeast. And this storm looks to reach Panhandle, Florida. Hold on. We're going to say about, that looks like early morning, Sunday morning, as a 997, so it could be a tropical storm. Again, it's too early to tell at this point, but there have been signals of this happening. And again, showers, thunderstorms in the northern plains. And as this moves inland, it'll start fading out, and all the tropical moisture with it is going to start riding the eastern seaboard from Florida to New Jersey with scattered showers and thunderstorms here in the plains, and scattered about here with some tropical moisture from Mexico getting into New Mexico, Colorado, and Wyoming. And all this tropical moisture, this could be a severe weather risk down here for early, not this week, but the following week, the 24th. So we got to keep an eye on that. And that system pretty much goes off the North Carolina coast, and heavy rain and thunderstorms in Maryland, Delaware, and Virginia, trailing down into Florida and the Gulf. Lighter showers and thunderstorms, your garden variety stuff here in the Midwest, scattered about here in Texas and the Intermountain West. And this, what used to be tropical storm or Hurricane Alberto, or the B name, will be off the mid-Atlantic coast. Probably will have high seas all up and down the East Coast during that time. While there's another low back here in Georgia and Tennessee, which will continue to have rain chances in the southeast, while Air Mountain West will have scattered showers and thunderstorms and a couple pockets of showers and thunderstorms in the northern plains. As we continue on, this will continue to exit stage right, and leftover showers and thunderstorms from it from Florida to South Carolina, and just scattered rains in the Mountain West and in the Central Plains. And then this might be another severe weather day for South Carolina and Georgia, with this low riding the coast. Meanwhile, there's some scattered rain and thunderstorms Intermountain West, Northern Rockies, and from Midwest. And that low kind of meanders around, pretty much going to be showers and thunderstorms along the coast, northern Florida, and then a Pacific system is going to come in with rain in the valley, chance of snow in the higher elevations, rain in May, rain in Maine, and lighter rains here in the northern plains. As we continue on, this will be, now we're all this subject to change because we're now in La La Land, but this holds true. Got tropical moisture coming up into Texas from Mexico. We got rain in Montana and western northern North Dakota. Storms in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And we continue on. Looks like we might have a warm front here that might go into the far northeast, while a high pressure ridge will start, the Bermuda High will start cranking and heating up the Atlantic seaboard, while most of the action stays up in Canada. Well, that's all I got for today. I will be back later on tonight with an evening edition, and to see what has changed since now until then. Until then, if you like this content, please press the like button. If you really dig it, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and I will see you later this evening.